This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. The meeting of March 12, 2019 was included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post on January 4th, 2019, and advertised in said newspapers on January 6th and January 7th, respectively, posted on bulletin boards in the municipal building on January 7th, 2019, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. This meeting is called to order. Flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Ms. Schneider? Here. Mr. Costa?
Here.
Mr. Klaus?
Here.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Here.
Mayor Mashaki?
The minutes. I need an approval of the regular committee minutes of February 12th, 2019, and approval of the executive session minutes of February 12th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Reports. We have reports from the tax collector, February 2019, the code enforcement, February 2019, the fire official, February 2019, construction, February 2019, and emergency services reports from February 2019. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Comments from the public. First session for agenda items only. Do we have any comments? Seeing none, comments are closed. There's now a presentation. I have the privilege of giving a presentation to Dawn Emmons on her retirement. The proclamation reads, whereas the mayor and the members of the Hainesport Township Committee wish to recognize the outstanding service of the Chief Financial Officer, Dawn Emmons Tuliano, as she begins her retirement and prepares for a new chapter in her life. Whereas Dawn Emmons Tuliano served with distinction and dedication, enthusiasm, Hainesport Township has benefited from Dawn's talented financial planning and investment advice. We have maintained a strong financial position due to her experience and her expertise. Whereas her experience, character, and level of respect shown to residents will be missed. Now and therefore be it resolved by the Hainesport Township Committee that Dawn Emmons Tuliano be recognized and congratulated for her exemplary contribution and willingness to serve the residents of Hainesport Township. Be it further resolved that the Mayor, Frank Bishaki, Mayor of Hainesport Township, do hereby declare this proclamation to be an official document authorized by the Hainesport Township Committee and presented to Dawn Emmons Tuliano on this day, the 12th day of March, 2019.
I think my...
Congratulations.
Congratulations, thank you very much.
I'm not quite done, but... Deputy Mayor, if I may say a couple words as well?
Please.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say to Dawn, Thank you for everything. I know I shared my great appreciation for everything that you've done for me in an email, but I wanted to let everybody know that Dawn was amazing as I transitioned from a prior career into this one. She was very helpful and supportive of me, and somebody that I truly looked towards as I started this new role. I thank you for everything, for all your support, your knowledge, for sharing everything with me openly and willingly, and I wish you all the best of luck. I'm right behind you. Well, all right, I got a little bit while to go. But I am very jealous and envious, but you are so well deserving of this retirement. You have worked so hard, and I do have to say that I think that you are very integral to the strong financial position that Hainesport Township is in. So the residents of Hainesport do owe you a debt of gratitude for the position that it's in.
Yep.
And Mr. Gillespie, if you would like to say something?
Ask an Irish guy to talk into a microphone, you're going to be sorry. Yeah. I suppose I may know Dawn. Do I know you longer than Paul? I've known Dawn longer than anybody in this room. Dawn went to elementary school and high school with my brother. In case you can't tell, that was my younger brother. No, it's my pleasure. I have known Dawn as a young person. I've known Dawn as a more mature person. I've known Dawn as a council member in Pemberton, as the council president. Therefore, I worked for her as the township attorney. We didn't always agree, but we always found a way to find how we move forward, right? Because that's Dawn's hallmark. Dawn's hallmark as both an elected official and as a CFO, and I've worked with Dawn not just here, but in Cinnaminson, finds a way to get things done and get them done the right way. I mean, you never have to doubt her commitment to her position, her commitment to excellence, and her commitment to the communities that she serves. So I have nothing but the best of wishes for Dawn. I'm proud of her as a person, and I, too, am jealous that she is retiring, and I am not.
Right.
So, to the both of you, all the best.
And this is, just so you know, this is a card from all of the staff here, as well as the committee members and Mr. Gillespie. And some hand-carved flowers, because I know they don't travel well. They last you forever. They're actually hand-carved.
Thank you. Oh, how pretty.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Madam Mayor, Deputy Mayor, may I take this opportunity to have a word?
Sure.
Sure. I'd like to share an anecdote with you because it just came to my mind. Some years ago, when I was the employee of this township as the attorney, I got a call from Dawn saying they had to, she and another council person had to talk to me right away, and something important. So the other person was Mr. Tulliano over here, and they came to my office and they put out the evidence and said, "My goodness, somebody's stealing money in town," and it was the mayor. So you can imagine how surprised I was. And I want you to know that Dawn really took care of that. She made sure everything was cleaned up. She detected all the so-called errors, thefts committed by the mayor and the acting CMFO, I guess, the acting, my goodness. And you can imagine what went through our minds and how distraught we were, but nevertheless, we all persevered, and Dawn did a wonderful job clearing it up. So, Dawn, you have my accolades.
Okay. All right, so onward with the business. First, ordinance number 2019-1 to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and establish a cap bank. First reading and introduction, public hearing, and final adoption, April 9th, 2019. So,
Just need a motion.
just need a motion. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Who seconded it? Jerry? Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Ordinance 2019-2, amending and supplementing Chapter 123 of the Township Code entitled Parks, to improve the standards for parks and recreation, This is the first reading and introduction. Public hearing and final adoption will be April 9th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second that?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolutions. Resolution 2019-64-3, the introduction of the 2019 budget. I need a motion.
I'll move to introduce the budget.
I'll second that.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-65-3, correcting the performance bond for Our Lady of Queen of Peace. This is a little tidy up paperwork. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-66-3, authorizing a one-year extension of the contract with TLC Landscape for the lawn care and field maintenance of Hainesport Recreation Complex, Hainesport Chase Park, Hainesport Township Public Park, and Rancocas Heights Samuel H. Robbins Park.
Yes, so moved.
I'll second that.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-67-3, authorizing the award of a contract for amusement rentals for the municipal complex for movie nights.
So moved.
Yeah. You got it, Jerry.
Okay.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-68-3, the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse Fiscal Grant, cycle July 2014 to June 2019, one-year extension. Do I have a motion?
I'd make that motion.
I'll second that.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-69-3, approving a block party from 1 Hastings Lane to 15 Hastings Lane. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-70-3, authorizing disposal, sale of surplus property no longer needed for public purposes pursuant to statute 40A 11-36. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2019-71-3, approving project scope for Phillips Road improvements. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second that.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. Okay, we've come to comments from the public. Anyone wish to make a comment tonight?
Ron, I see you're injured too.
Yeah,
Good
one
evening.
more week, though. Ron Napoli, 120 Paisley Place. Question, the budget that was introduced, what is the impact on the taxes?
So $21 per average household?
Yes. Give me one
Increase.
second, I can answer that.
Yeah, I might add, Ron, that it's not permanent yet, it's not set in stone.
Understood.
We
I'm
intend-
always confused why you never talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's odd because
Yes.
it's a resolution that's actually, has a public hearing on it. It's the only resolution that has a public hearing on it, which would be in the next budget.
But what you're introducing does have an impact on taxes.
Sure, absolutely. So it means, one second. The increase would be $1.78 per month for a total of $21.38. So that's what the financial difference would be.
On a house assessed at what value?
Assessed at $278,105,
Yeah, okay.
which is actually a little bit lower than the assessment from last year, about $700 lower.
So again, the annual was
$21.38.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck there, Ron. Good luck with the foot.
Anyone else?
Good evening, Jennings Black, 2505 Elm Avenue. I thought in my mind at 2611 on Warren Highway, there's a building that's been empty or closed up there for, I guess, 50 years now. Is there any kind of action to be taken for that? Right in the corner of New Jersey Avenue's there. When we moved here in 85, it was all closed up then. It's still closed up.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the address?
2611
Warren Highway?
Warren Highway.
Warren Highway right here. Been closed up for, I guess, 50 years or so. I wonder if there's anything going on. It just doesn't look very nice coming to our township for that to be closed up like that. I know they mow the grass and things like that, maintain that, but been an unoccupied building for all that period of time.
It was a commercial building?
I believe one time it was a gas station or something. I believe it was what was there, some kind of garage or general store somewhere when I was a child.
Oh, you're
Okay.
talking
This one?
this way.
Pardon?
If you leave the township building, it's to the left?
No, down here, right in the heights, at the top of the heights there. Right off the railroad tracks there, 26, corner of New Jersey and Warren Highway there, 2611. Right between Pennsylvania and Trenton there, New York Avenue there.
It's vacant now?
Oh, it's been there for 50 years.
The house with the two trailers on it.
Yeah, there's two trailers, they've been sitting there for a while there, you know. Never a while was not taken care of. They've been taken care of. They mow the grass and things like that and all. That part's been maintained. But coming to township, it's been there for, like I said, probably 50 years now. I remember as a child, it was some kind of a general store or something, I think, there is what it was.
Taxes are paid on the property, so.
I don't know, just, my other thought is, I took a ride around Mount Laurel this afternoon there. A lot of their ground down there is being developed. I mean, they're bringing a lot of fill. I realize it's not concerning you folks, but still, anyway, it does affect us. Down Briggs Road, Union Mill Road down there, that's all heavy swamp ground down there, all low ground. If you take a ride down there now, you're going to see townhouses, unbelievable. They have trucked in dirt down there, absolutely, I cannot believe how much dirt they have trucked in down there. And all that runoff is going to come into the Rancos Creek, which I live on. And we've seen a lot of muddy water and all coming out in the creek there. I'm assuming that's probably made from some of their construction there, that we're the benefactors of all that comes into us there. My other thought, which is still in my mind here, is that with wanting to build a garage there on my property. And we're on the creek there. I understand floodplain and so forth. I understand that. So have to jump all through all the hoops. But considering where the pumping station is there, once again, that was our property there. We've talked about this once before. And if they've already jumped all through those hoops, so I don't see why we have to continue to spend a ton of money jumping through all those hoops and following all the same things that have already been done in order for them to build that pumping station there, take our property. And when the township took that property, I mean, we were very compassionate, I think, that and consider what the value of the property was. We said, well, we understood, my wife and I understood that the taxpayers of the township were going to pay for that property. And so we did have some, a little bit of confrontations over the township about that, and we finally settled and still provide about half the value of that property there. So I think we've been more than kind and generous. There have been a new house built down the street from us. There have been 2 or 3 new garages built in the area there, pretty much all in the same area. And our property, being at the end of New Jersey, they're on the hill there from New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. A lot of our property is still being washed out in the creek as runoff from those roads come down and heavy storms and take our property out into the creek. I did build a berm out there about maybe 8 or 9 years ago, 10 years ago when I could do that, which was asphalt grindings. With the permission of my neighbor next door, Jim Easton there, we had asphalt grindings spread from his driveway there all the way down past our house down the pumping station there. And then I borrowed my brother's heavy commercial compactor machine and pounded it and packed that on pretty tight. And that's pretty good, but with all the snow plowing and weather and things like that, water, it's kind of deteriorated now. I'm not able to do that with my physical condition anymore right now. And I just asked the township if they would replace that berm once again with asphalt grindings again and use a compactor and pack it down. if I could, I would do it myself without any, having, doing an engineering study or anything else, We just need a little berm there, and if they want to put maybe a little soil behind that, maybe for retention, as I do on my lawn, to try and stop some of that. And, what always washed on my driveway, I've already replaced that and put pavers down to hold that in place.
This
So-
it connects to the street?
Pardon?
It connects to the street? to
It's
the
right on
road?
the edge of the road there, yes, between our property, between 2505 Elm and, what is it, 2601, I think is the property there. It doesn't it's not, it's only just a little berm, maybe a foot high or something like that, where it might be, and it worked. It's just my own design, no engineering studies, no permits, nothing else, we just went ahead and did it and solved the problem. Kept the water out of my basement, and as I see more and more of my yard being washed out into the creek there all the time, we now find a marker for the floodplain markers and things like that, which were previously before under about 6 inches of ground or so. Well, now the whole monument is now showing. And some of the past storms, we have more just got washed out again. And I've just got some pavers down the back trying to stop some of that and slow it down, but I can only do so much.
Who installed the berm before?
Pardon?
Who installed the berm before? Did the township install it?
No, he did.
Oh, you did?
No,
Yourself.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
And is it installed on your property or is it installed in the road?
It's right on the edge of the road, is what it is. Just a little berm about maybe no more than 24 inches wide, something like that is what it was. Just a little asphalt millings, which we got in there, and we just spread them right down across the front of the two properties there and solved the problem.
But is it on the private property or is it on the road?
It's on the edge of the street there is where it is, along the edge. There's no curbs or anything out
I
there.
understand it, but
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out, is that within your surveyed property or is that within the road?
Well, whoever owns, depends on how you look at it. Sometimes we own it, sometimes the township owns it.
I understand, so depending upon how you look at it, it's pretty important,
As
right?
far as I'm concerned, it was down there, stop the water, keep out my basement, Because we called the fire department, they asked if they would pump our basement out, they said they don't do that anymore.
And the issue about the land that, you previously owned and it went to a pumping station, is it?
Yes, correct. Sewage pumping station.
Was that the MUA?
Yes, now MUA, yes.
Right, so it wasn't the township, so it wasn't that you were generous
What?
with the township or the township. You said the township took it from you for a pumping station. The township didn't take it, did they? It was the MUA.
Yeah, they own that now, yes. But what I'm saying, it was ours, and we had the agreement that they did all the studies and everything else for the floodplain, to put a pumping station there. All we want to do is build a garage there, we're not going to build a 10-story garage, we're just going to build a garage and park 2 cars if at all possible.
So may I ask a question? So, you previously stated you were concerned about runoff from building, construction runoff.
That's a Mount Laurel one.
Mount Laurel, the construction, they have a responsibility to maintain soil erosion and ensure that any kind of soils from construction is contained, and there's a lot of different methods in doing that. I'm concerned about the use of asphalt millings and stormwater runoff and the contaminants that are found in asphalt. So we wouldn't be able to just build a berm. We are bound by filing the proper permits and doing things appropriately, and there's a great possibility that utilizing asphalt that has a lot of contaminants in it might not be a method that the DEP or whatever authorizing agency that we would have to go to would in fact authorize. So we wouldn't be able to just build a berm as you did, unfortunately. It would entail a lot more. But if you could come in and talk to me about that, and, okay, we could get some more.
We drive on that
from
asphalt
you.
every day. The only difference now is...
I understand.
And whatever's there is whatever, so, Okay, do that too.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close the comments. Comments from the administrator?
I have a few. I'm happy to announce that we received a FEMA reimbursement from Superstorm Quinn, which happened the beginning of March of 2018. We were eligible to receive 75% of the debris removal costs, as well as we were able to capture donated resources time from the Hainesport Fire Company. So we received a $33,716 FEMA grant. This reimbursement will help to offset the capital purchase of the turnout gear, which is in the 2019 budget request. So that'll help offset the cost to the fire company for that capital purchase. I'm also pleased to announce that the Recreation Commission, Deputy Mayor Gilmore and I are working on coordinating the first annual Senior Citizens Prom, which will be open to all of Hainesport Township senior citizens. We are currently working with the fire company's Ladies Auxiliary as well as the company members to secure a good date on a Friday, late afternoon and evening in the fall. So we're working towards that right now. I do expect to secure a date within the next few weeks. And then I was also presented with the Burlington County Women's Advisory Council is seeking nominations for Outstanding Women of Burlington County. I'm sure that you could find the application on the county's website, and I believe that all nominations must be received by 4 p.m. Monday, April 1st. That's it. Thank you.
Our solicitor, Mr. Gillespie.
I don't have anything except to wish everyone a very happy St. Patrick's weekend.
Okay, thank you. Comments from the committee? Ted?
Thank you for coming, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's, too. It's always a good celebration. What's going on? Well, let me just tell you, I do want to submit for the board's consideration a resolution criticizing the governor's declaration to make New Jersey a sanctuary state. I did make up a resolution. It's not ready yet for prime time, though. It has to be tweaked a little bit, and I hope to introduce it next month. So with that in mind, I wish everyone a nice month.
Thank you, Ted.
I appreciate everyone coming out tonight, spending your evening with us, and I would also like to report, according to Chief Mackin, the firehouse has been blessed with 4 new recruits that will start attending the Fire Academy in August, so that's excellent news. And lastly, spring is just around the corner, so the warmer days are coming, and we should all feel better around then. Thank you again for everyone for coming out tonight, and get home safe.
Thank you all for coming out. I guess it was last weekend, Ted and I attended a municipal budgeting seminar up near Trenton, and we found it very informative, and considering it's my first time looking at the budget and when we can work with it and what we can do, I'm learning a lot about the first hearing process, and it's not the final process, so it's kind of weird the way the state does it. So we have to learn how to work within those guidelines, but everything I learned is it's going to be put to good use. So thank you all for coming.
I'm sure it will be. I just have a couple of things. The Senior Citizens Club has a meeting on the 14th at noon, and again on the 28th at noon at the Street Center on Broad Street. And yes, spring is a mere 7 days away. I am too looking forward to
Me
it.
too.
I just wanted to remind everybody about recycling. It seems that we need to do this on a regular basis. Any of your plastic items in the triangle, if it has a 1, a 2, or a 5, it's recyclable. Please clean it out, take the cap off, throw it in the recycling bucket, along with your paper and cardboard. There's a free download app you can download called the Recycling Coach, and it has all the dates. It has, if there's a change in the dates due to a holiday or bad weather, it gives you tips. You can put an item in there, and it'll tell you whether or not it is recyclable, and it's just a really handy thing to have. So I just wanted to tell everybody about that. I know that a few of us had the privilege of attending the banquet that the fire department and the EMTs had last month. It's a well-deserved affair that they have in celebration of the hard work that they do. Instead of a holiday party, they have it in February. Anyway, it's nice to see all the new young people that are volunteering to help the community. And I hope Frank is at the next meeting. And just thank everybody for coming out again tonight. Nothing else, and we have to pay the bills. Do I have a motion to pay our bills?
So moved.
Second that?
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes. The meeting is adjourned.
All right, that was short.
Nope.